Well, hello and welcome back to GearHeadGeeks, where in this video we are going to yet again do yet another tire on an H2. Well, you've seen me use a Rabaconda before and I'm getting better at it, so maybe this video will be a little bit easier and just go directly to it. But there's also something else you must do when you change a tire on H2. So stick around, we'll show you how it goes and we'll get right to it. From the beginning here, we're going to get our Rabaconda Tire Changer out and set up. Now I keep it set up like this. The only thing I need to do to make it operational is you just pull this out and away you go. You are in pretty good shape. You can lock it down if you need to. Don't really at this point. Now, this rear tire, get up where you can see it, is a single-sided swing arm. So it needs something in here to, you can put this on here and use it, but Rabaconda makes a adapter, this guy right here, and it bolts in to the middle of that, and I'll tell you what, it just turns this whole job so much easier than it used to be. I've done this a few times without it, and believe me, it ain't worth it. Take this, stuff it in here, we'll tighten it down. This is a really well-made deal too. It really works well. And the good part is, you need this for balancing. So anyway, now that we've got this on there, we can now put this on our tire changer. And everything is now held really well. So next thing you want to do is get the air out of the tire. And we'll use a valve cord tool for that. So anyway, the next thing you need to do is you get this guy right here, and this is going to be what we use to break our bead. And what you want to do is adjust this so it's as close to the rim as possible. And the reason for that, if it's too far away, the tire will want to fold out. If it's too, see, what you do is you just kind of push it in like this. You can see it kind of gets right up against the rim. Tighten it down, and you can then push on it and get the bead to break. And then the good part is that this spins really easy, and you can just kind of work your way around. And that sticky bead, and you feel how it sticks all the way around. And one of the things that we did the last time is we used something called tire grease, and I'll show you what that does. But the tire grease, even though it makes it slide down really good, it makes the tire stick to the rim really well, so that you don't get any slippage on it. And again, the same thing. Get that in there, push, and pops it loose. Okay, so this all being loose, now we can go on ahead, and the next thing we do is we get our duck head, and this is what Rabaconda calls a duck head. Everybody calls it a duck head, I guess, and because it looks like a duck. All right, so what we want to do here is we put this guy on, and we want to adjust it so the duck head is over the top of the rim and just kind of touching it and tighten it up. And that's all you need to do with that. And what happens with this is this will not hurt the rim because it's plastic in there, so it's not going to hurt anything. And then you can take, and we'll just take a tire arm, which comes with the Rabaconda, And what we're going to do here is we're going to get the tire over the top of the duck head. And what you want to do is push your tire into the drop center. And the drop center is the center of the rim, and that when your bead goes into that, it makes it easier for you to work on the bead. And all of a sudden that just becomes fairly simple. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is to make our life a little bit easier. I've got some dish soap in with water, and I'm just going to give this a bit of a squirt, especially right around in here, and that'll allow the duck head to work easily. So take this, take it off, and now we can just go on ahead and we're just going to roll this tire off. There's one more thing we need to do. There's a pin in the bottom here that we need to insert, and that'll stop the wheel from turning. Okay, now we can go on ahead and we are going to just roll our tire off. And it's just that simple. Okay? Okay, so now that we've got the first side of the tire off, we need to get it all the way off. And so what we need to do is pull our tire up here. We get our tire iron on the duck head and on the other side of the tire, and we just roll it off and hook it, and we're ready to peel off our tire. And now we're going to go plopping on off of here, and we're done. Just that simple. Okay, so we're ready to mount our new tire, and I've done myself a big favor. I set this out in the sun for a little while, so it's a little warm. It's not hot, but it's warm. And the only thing we need to do now is to get started, we're going to use something called tire mounting compound or tire grease. And this is Murphy's. Rabaconda makes some. Here's a little brush that you use for that. You get some of this stuff, and the one thing you do want to do is make sure of what direction your tire turns. So this one says rear. We know that our tire turns in counterclockwise, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some of this tire grease on, and this makes it pop onto the bead really well. And when after it dries, it's very sticky, and the tire will stick. So now we know that the arrow shows this way, so we know we want it to go this way. So we'll go on ahead and put tire grease on it on this side, and this is the way we're going to be mounting the tire. Triple check which way your tire goes, because there's nothing worse than putting it on there and finding out you did it wrong. Okay, so now we just take this guy, and we're going to get our duck head up at the top where we can work with it. And I've got it pretty tight here. I think I need to loosen it just a bit. There we go. Alright, so now what you want to do is you're going to take your tire and you're going to lay it over the top so you can see the duck head. And what that does is allows this thing to roll the tire on. Now, let's see if we can get this thing on here, because a lot of times you can just push it on, and we can't. So we'll go on ahead and get this tire to roll on. Alright, and that's all there was to that. Alright, now the next thing we want to do is we're going to bring our duck head up to the top, and we just do it so we can work on it. Okay, so now we've got the first side of the tire on. Then what we want to do is we just want to make sure that your duck head is on the rim and you just pull it over to where you can see the duck head. And then we're going to just push our tire on as much as we can. And then I'm going to take a tire clamp, which you can get from Rabaconda or Amazon or whatever, and you just take this and you just push it on. It's done. Then we're just going to roll our tire on. And we're done. Take this loose. Take our duck head off, put it away. Take our tire clamp out. We're done. And all we need to do now is put some air in it and balance it. I'm going to turn it around for putting in the air. And let's get some air in this bad boy. So the next thing we need to do, and we need to do this right after we mount our tire, is we need to balance it. So the way we do that is we take our tire right here, and hopefully you can see all that. Yeah, it looks like it. And then there's a shaft that you're going to use on the balancer, and this particular one has two little cones on it. The Rabaconda has the adapter in there, and that Rabaconda, whether you have a Rabaconda machine or not, and you have a single-sided swing arm and you want to balance your wheel, you need this adapter, believe me. Then we take the other side of the cone, push it on as hard as you can, get it in there really good, and then you just take, and we will, if you can do this with one hand, push it on as hard as you can, and then we'll take this guy. There you go. See me doing it with one hand. All right. Take this guy, got it pushed in there really hard, tighten it down. This is 3 millimeters on this particular one. And now we are tight and we aren't going anywhere. Then you take it and you put it on your balancer. And then we just let it sit. Now, it's going to find a spot. We're going to turn it 90 degrees and see if it tries to go back to that spot. And look at it. It just wants to go back to it immediately. So first of all, we got to take off. And I left any weights that were on here on. And there's just one there. Okay. So now we're going to find our heavy spot. And that's going to be about it right there. So our heavy spot, our light spot is here. Our heavy spot is here. So we're going to turn this 180 degrees. And we need to put a weight on here. And let's see what we got. This is a 30. This is a 30. And a 10, 20 here somewhere. There's a 10. Here's a 20. So we're going to put a 20 on there, see how it does. It looked like it was pretty heavy, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And we'll just go on ahead and tap on this weight just so it stays on there. Okay, so now we'll try it again. And do we have a heavy spot? Looks like we still have one. Let's see if it comes back. Yep. Okay, so we still have that wasn't enough weight. So we're going to take a 30 and we'll put it on there. Get this. 30. And let's see how that did. There you go. 90 degrees, stopped, and we are in balance. And that's all there is to it. So I've got some cleaning up to do on this, and then we'll go to the motorcycle. Okay, on an H2, we have our rear axle. This axle has been serviced several times, but every single time you change your rear tire, you have got to make sure this nut is tight. Mine came loose after the first 5,000, 6,000 miles, and it was, so I realized you have to do that. You have to make sure that it's tight. And the way you do that is you need to invest in two 46 millimeter sockets, 12 point. That's what you need for them. And so I've got a nice long breaker bar, and I've got a high quality torque wrench. I'm more into high quality torque wrenches than any other kind. And I'm going to set this to 188 foot-pounds. 188 foot-pounds. And yeah, it's you got to do some serious wrenching on it, that's for sure. Make sure everything is balanced. Then you take and put the best way to do this is to get this guy turned so your socket is, so your wrench is pushing against the floor. This way when you lift on it, you're not having to try and balance both of them. And now get that good and tight, and we pull up until it clicks. And it didn't move at all, so it was tight. If you find that it's loose, you need to torque it to 162 foot-pounds, break it loose, and then torque it to 188, and that gets it all cinched together, and then you can tighten it. So now that these are tight, what you need to do is you need to put these guys on. These are the clips, and there's holes drilled in here, and this is actually a castle nut, and you got to find a hole that lines up. You can't adjust it after it's been tightened. You can't tighten it more. You're not supposed to do that. There's always going to be a hole that lines up. There's several of them in here that you can use. And there's one here, two there, and two here. And one of those is going to line up. So you just need to find out which one's going to line up. Okay, so it's going to line up right there. And then all that you want to do is, you want to put this on so that the wheel's moving forward so it looks like it's driving it on. So you just take that, put that in the proper guy, and you just snap it into place. And that's the end of it. Same thing on the other side. Find the one that is going to work. It looks like we have that one there. And you want it so that it drives it on. It's really quite simple. And the snap rings are in place. So I'm going to do a little cleaning up, and we'll put the tire on. And that is everything you need to know about changing a tire on an H2. We did it on a single-sided swing arm using a Rabaconda Tire Changer. It is a fairly simple job. You are not dying and fooling around with tire irons or having to take a trip down to the local wherever motorcycle shop to have your tire changed. We did it all right here. We got it done. It's balanced perfectly. We got the axle torqued, and as you can see, it's really, really important that you torque your axle each and every single time that you change your tire. And they come loose, it destroys the bearings, and when it destroys the bearings, you're out $1,000. So the best thing you can do, check that torque, and it will last forever. That particular bike, and it's got the original bearings in it, everything is good, and they did come loose once, but I caught it very, very early on. But that bike's got 87,000 miles on it, and when the last time I serviced the bearings, which wasn't that long ago, they were like brand new in there. So make sure that you keep it torqued and you'll be good. So thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, anything else, and we'll see you next time here on GearHeadGeeks.